Here's Wara, the former Pacer. Freeman-Liberty, the three. He has met the ninth here in the first quarter.
A good game, fun moments, but no win. The Raptors played well without Emmanuel Quickley, who was resting, and Grady Dick, who had a groin contusion, but it wasn't enough as the Pacers took over in the second half to pull off the win.
First half and generally for the whole game, our rebounding was the problem. It came down that they had 37 second chance points, and all the offensive rebounds they got, they actually converted those, so they shot very high percentage. We were able to score 123 points and to win the battle of scoring in the paint, but still we got to do a much better job. First half actually 26 points and played pretty solid. Second half allowed way too many points there for them to score.
The highlights: Javon Freeman-Liberty scored a career-high 20 points, including 14 of those in the first quarter of the game. JFL helped the Raptors take the lead going into the second quarter, but that was about it. Indiana got things together, and a balanced attack with 6 players scoring in double figures was enough for the Pacers to never look back, even despite both RJ Barrett and Kelly Olynyk joining Freeman-Liberty as 20-point scorers on the night.
It's definitely going to be a process, probably maybe a long process. Just coming out of college, just being like a scorer and having a scoring mentality. But I also think it's a great challenge for me, and I'm ready to take on the challenge and just go out there and do what I can.
This was the final home game of the season for the Raptors, folks, and while it did help Indiana vault themselves up the standings, the Raptors are now 2 more losses away from securing themselves the 6th best lotto odds, whatever that might mean to you. Anyways, Ochai Agbaji had some pretty cool blocks tonight, so let's discuss those for the film room. 3 chase down blocks for Ochai Agbaji last night, and I think most of them come off the fact of he gets blown by and then is able to recover using his length to block that shot. And this one was probably the most impressive. He gets caught under the screen, still is able to recover, and times an incredible shot block over Tyrese Haliburton. I just thought that was really, really incredible work. And also, it actually just makes me think about Ochai a little bit more. It's like, all right, maybe his position, what we're asking Ochai to do, is maybe not the way that he's being used currently. I mentioned last night or a couple of nights ago that they used Ochai as a roller, as a screener, rolling to the basket, diving to the basket. And that helps because he's such a great athlete that if you give him a runway, he's able to use that to get up and dunk, right? He had a really great dunk the other night because of that. I actually think he's more of like a small ball 4 than he is a shooting guard or a wing. I think he's like this smaller 4 that can kind of rebound the ball for you, cut off the ball. And I know I'm sort of describing Bruce Brown here, but I actually see that vision more than I see the vision of like this 3-and-D wing stopper type. Now that being said, he can grow into that. Coach Darko talked about that post-game of how he wants him to step up even more on the defensive end. He's shown flashes of being able to stop players at the point of attack, and I think that's something they want to double down on. That being said, he has these skills that are sort of like bubbling up to the surface. Rim running, interesting for a guy his size. Ability to cut on the ball and off the ball, another interesting skill for his size. This shot blocking ability is also another skill that's like not necessarily typical for a player of his stature, height-wise. And so it makes you think, it's like, maybe there's a world in which he can be this small ball 4 for you. And maybe that's the way the Raptors can utilize him moving forward. That's just an idea. It's just something I've thought of. Anyways, last home game of the Raptors season. It is also my last recap of the Raptors season. I am going to do, I'll be at the exit interviews, hopefully, and I'll be able to sort of relay anything that I say, and the exit interview stuff that will happen next week once the Raptors season is officially over. I'll most likely just talk about the offseason, what to expect from some of the players, what are some expectations that I have for some of the players, not necessarily a recap or anything, but that will be the official final recap of this season. This one will be the final recap of the season. of a game. And I just wanted to say, for everybody who has watched along these things, who has tapped in, whether it was when I was doing them at SDPN or whether I'm doing them here at Raptors Republic, thank you so much for tuning in and watching these things, because I took a risk by deciding to do something like this, and I put myself out there. And I always say this, but like, in a lot of ways, when it sounds trivial because it isn't necessarily art, or it isn't anything, like we're not making music, we're not making a film or anything like that. But when journalists and writers and reporters and whatnot, and creators in general, make something, they're putting a piece of themselves out there to be, kind of watched or viewed. And so I really do appreciate people who watch this, because you are watching something that I have an immense amount of passion for. And I can't thank you guys enough. Seriously, it's been awesome to cover the Raptors for you guys, even though it has been an insanely ridiculous season. I mean, we're talking about Ochai Agbaji blocks at game 79, folks, And so I really appreciate you guys for letting me do this, for being down, for listening to this schmuck talk about basketball. Shout out to y'all for letting me do that. And I think overall, when it comes to the Raptors season and how my own journey has kind of shaken up over the last year or so, I've had the chance to learn a lot, whether it be the writing side of things, whether it be the video content side of things, whether it be the behind the scenes aspect, whether it be the social media stuff. Being able to do different things has really allowed me to just like try and explore things. And I'm just hoping that this is the start of hopefully a sustainable career. Yeah, that's it. That's really all I've got. I just wanted to say thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, I really, really can't express how much it means to me when you guys watch these videos. So thank you so much. And if you're still interested, if you're still down, if you're still tuned in and be like, hey, I want to see what S is doing, obviously follow me on Twitter if you do, at JustSBarahini. That's where you'll find most of my work. I do writing for Forbes. I write mostly Raptors and NBA stuff for Forbes. I do some social content here and there for a place called Bleacher Report on their TikTok, doing some stories and things like that for them. Outside of that, you might see me here and there for a podcast or two, likely on the Raptors Republic channel. You'll see me probably doing podcasts elsewhere as well. I will be covering the CEBL this summer. I'm a sideline reporter for the CEBL. That's a major passion of mine, and I'm going to be doing some more stuff with that league in general, so be on the lookout for that. And that's pretty much it, folks. Yeah, that's the season in a lot of ways. Again, I'll come back after the exit interviews. That'll happen next week, and we can talk about off-season and sort of do a full-blown goodbye. But, for the people who might be tuning into this one, I just wanted to say thank you. So appreciate you guys. See you guys later. Bye-bye.